in Antigua.
For those who are here for the first time, a hearty welcome. Welcome to Antigua and Barbuda. For those who've been here before, welcome back home. With you today. We're in St. John's, which is the city and capital. You can hear me clearly from the back. Yep. St. John's, which is the city and capital. Along with St. John's, we have St. Peter's, St. Paul's, St. Mary's, St. Philip's, and St. George's. So that's 6 parishes that makes up the island, yes. 17 by 50 length and width. To my right, we're passing an important water catchment. This water catchment was built by the slaves back then, so they could have got water. This was known as Congo Pond. Today we call it Country Pond. Ministry of Legal Affairs, Ministry of Finance, and the complex to my left, that's Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Here, with 5 T's.
In the late summer,
so in Carnival, the more money you spend on your costume is the less fabric you get, because it's so hot.
Easter and Lent.
Which holds over 70% of the country's income. The other remaining percent is split between agriculture, sports fishing, and offshore businesses. That keeps the country flowing. So we're going to focus on the left. So this is not a plantation, it's too small. But it's a small sugarcane field, and that is what the raw material to sugar, rum, looks like. So we no longer produce sugar, but as you can see, we still grow sugarcane here, and this is just one part of the island. You see some other parts of the island, they do have sugarcane farms as well, but sugarcane takes a lot of water to grow, and currently we need rain.
She said there were about 300 churches on the island, but over 3,000 bars.
But you're looking at there, that's the famous Farmers Harbor. You would have heard of. Farmers Harbor comes alive every year, November, beginning the yachting season. And our sailing week in April ends it. So our sailing week here.
Very windy, I'm sure, even with my wind baffle. But out here is Eric Clampton's house. He's here about 6 months of the year. Here with the green roofs is the St. James Club. Very exclusive resort. Now today the Caribbean side is equally windy. Got a few sailboats out there. This is part of a small fort used by the British soldiers. This location has an unobstructed view of Antigua's west coast. It was built in 1789 and was used until 1854 when the British left the island. It'd be plenty warm up here if it wasn't for this wind.
It's gotta look like it for these pictures.
This is part of the old fort from the 1700s.
Yes, guys, I was telling them this is how the guards had to dress. And the guards that was working here was responsible for the 4 guns on the platform. Caribbean right here. Can you see an outline of the island over there? Look good.
Yeah.
Remember I was telling you about the volcanic island? Oh yeah. That's Montserrat. Montserrat is only 25 miles off of us. Oh yeah. It's going to be the dance floor. So here comes live every Thursday and every Sunday. Here's where the locals and the tourists come together and have a good time. You watch the sunset with your friends, your family, your loved ones. The food, the barbecue. Just imagine it. And if you think it's pretty now in the day, you need to see it in the sunset. Better yet in the night. So it's more beautiful to me in the night of a view up here. This is Fort Berkeley here. If you look down, you see there's a fort. Building with 1 window. And you see the bit of bricks in the water on the left here. That was Fort Charlotte, but Fort Charlotte got destroyed by a hurricane. The chain boom ripped the bottom off. And even if you fell asleep or you got away, you got in, remember it's locked. So to come back out, you got to pass right here. It'd be like sitting duck. You forget it. Below here now, not just the harbor, this is the entrance to English Harbor. Can you see the beach? This beach is called Freeman's Bay. Freeman's Bay is the beachfront for Galleon Beach. You have the inn, you have a few other small hotels down there, but Galleon Inn is the time train property. Eric Clapton's first house was just below this turpentine down here.
Windy here either. This is a cactus with a top knot. Resembles. Okay, this is Nelson's Dockyard. That would be Lord Horatio Nelson, who died at the Battle of Trafalgar after they beat the French. Getting into the dockyards, here's a cannon. This would have been pretty well protected a couple hundred years ago. The wall behind the cannon is studded with beautiful conch shells.
Okay, good morning everyone. Nelson's Dockyard. My name is Joseph and I will be your guide. Now the Nelson's Dockyard was named after Admiral Horatio Nelson. He was Commander Antigua for 3 years from 1784 to 1787. Now all the bricks that we see about the dockyard, these were all brought in at the bottom of ships as ballast and were traded for sugar and rum.
Yellow bricks from London.
It wouldn't be a military institute without some rules. They were always kept closed and always guarded. The rules were on the outside that said no cats, no dogs, no children, and most importantly, no women. Building in the dockyard. Now it was said that Lord Nelson actually stayed here, which is not true, because it was built 50 years after he died. He would actually stay mainly on his ship. Right now we have the Dockyard Museum.
Just a few shabby boats here.
Now that is actually known as the Clarence House.
Oh, okay.
It's where Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, that's where she had her honeymoon.
Right.
All because of paparazzi. After they found her up there, she had no privacy and was forced to take a boat over to our sister island.
Stu recognized the M over there on the sail. The company is the Moorings that we sailed with here once, but not here. It's in the British Virgin Islands. Go. The Moorings, established 1969. Bakery out back. You wouldn't want it in a wooden building back when it was in a separate place up at Cotton. Stone pillars, now part of the Admiral's Inn, were once the base of the loft that took care of the sails for naval ships. In Nelson's day, the channel between the columns allowed ships' gigs to row under the building and have the sails lifted into the loft for service. They call it Pepto-Bismol. It's about the color. A lot of cars there. Last year,
I think here they have a 6 o'clock. So to the right, that's the major shopping area.